Now, the latest artist debuting her work at the Miller Gallery will make you feel as if you are floating. And Weightless, the art of Christy Lee features large-scale images that use colorful fabrics to create ethereal images. And Christy Lee joins us now this morning to talk about how she creates these images that start with a photograph and end up looking more like oil paintings. Thank you so much for coming in to talk about this. I looked at it and I said, that's impossible. But then you look at it a little more closely and you see that the origin is a photograph. Explain how you accomplish images that look like this.
Well, these are all shot in Hawaii underwater. I use the surface of the water as my canvas. So basically I'm outside of the water. I use refraction of light. So we get this bending.
Yeah.
Everything underwater is very dense under there. So the light travels slower down there. So we get this bending, we get this really softness that creates these painting-like images. So this has been something that's taken me maybe 20 years to perfect. I started out in Hawaii shooting at night. I had a day job and I'd shoot at night, and I became really obsessed with it and had my mom in the water, my dad in the water, everybody I knew. So it became an obsession to really perfect this style.
You had to have the germ of an idea, though, that this is something that would create images that I can work with. And I say work with because the photography is only one part of what this image eventually looks like, because there's very dramatic lighting.
Yes.
The models, what they wear is an important component of it. Do you think all of that first and then hope that it comes out the way you...
Yeah, I mean, it's a year of planning and writing in notebooks, colors, this is all very specific colors, the costumes, like you said, so everything, and then the concept is always very important to me. Sometimes it's very simple, like freedom and hope, and this one is really about inspiration itself, creating that inspiration and how fast you can lose that inspiration. And I definitely keep the notebooks, and then I go and it's all live. It's like sculpting and painting live and moving fabrics, and the water really just takes you where it wants to go. So you are a part of that force, which I think is very interesting, because we all are vulnerable to this world and the elements, but it's about letting go and being comfortable in that, and that's where the hope and that freedom comes through.
You talk about letting go and being comfortable, but you take great risk when you do these kinds of things. I take pictures on occasion, and I'd say maybe if I get 10% of them to turn out the way I wanted them to, that's a pretty good percentage. I imagine that you have to have do-overs and that sort of thing too.
Yes, you have to have a lot of patience to do these, and it's funny because after each shoot I say I'll never do this again. And I sleep for days afterwards. I mean, I have to be really well rested and fed just to be really present there to make sure that I capture the shot, because the models are giving it their all. They're down under the water, they're really vulnerable, so I have to make sure that I sculpt them and move them where the light needs to be. And everything is chaotic down there. So I think that's what's most fascinating to me.
We only got a few seconds left, but you've shown your photographs all over the world, and your art has been embraced all over the world. What do you think about that?
I love it. I love that the images are out there and touching people, and people write me all the time and say that they were really inspired by them, or it made them cry, made them feel something. So that as an artist, that's the ultimate dream.
Well, your work is dreamy.
Thank you.
And it's very, very impressive. Thank you so much for coming and talking about it.
Thank you.
And let's give people the information now. It will be at Miller Gallery now through September 7th. The gallery's on Erie Avenue, 2715 Erie Avenue. If you need more information, just go to local12.com and click on the Get It Now link.